Hello vinyl freaks, it's the Danish record hunter here, and in this video I will talk about all the 45 singles by Hair and also the band that Hair transformed into, which was Zig Zag band. And if you didn't see my last video, then check it out. I'm talking about this album here, Hair Peace, and it's a great heavy progressive rock record from Denmark. And of course I will go and talk about all the 45 singles by Hair and Zig Zag band. So yeah, the first one here, it's an album single. So like there's like two tracks from the record by Hair, and Hair only released one full-length record. So this one was actually probably, I would say, released a little bit before the album, maybe a couple months before, as usually it was with singles, maybe some weeks before. And it has the Tim Buckley covered Pleasant Street as the A side, and it's a nice rendition. And then on the B side we have Supermouth, which is this very awesome rocker, groovy and with fast-paced section, like very fuzzy. Probably this is their best 45 single in my opinion, because the best tracks is on the album. But it's very cool, so let's have a listen to Superman.
What is still to do, and what's left to say? It's up to me and you.
And then the second one, it's also from 1970, and this one is probably the easiest one to find. It's not that expensive, and that I've had many copies of this 45 single. Some of them, they were not very good. It was like the condition on them was like really worn out. So I finally found a copy that sounds nice. And this one, it's heavy. It has the same kind of fuzzy, heavy rock feel like the album, especially the B-side track, Going Home. The thing with this single that is a turn off, it is they found it a good idea to have a children's chorus. So it's like some children from a school, like a school chorus or something like that. They invited them to the studio to sing the chorus. So it's like this children's chorus and heavy rock. and actually, I don't think it's that bad. You know, it's catchy, and for a reason, Happy Child, it became a minor radio hit. Nothing big, but it did something for them. Maybe that's also why this single is so easy to find, because they thought maybe this would have a chance at really making it. So this single is also where like the disagreements came in the band, because I've talked about Torben Bille in my last or earlier video about the album, and Torben Bille, he was the lyricist and manager of Hair, and he really had big, great plans for the band, and he's a proud man. You can see that too, the way that he wrote his reviews. He thought writing reviews and this, having his opinion about music was as great art as the music itself. And I disagree hard with that, So the thing was that he wrote the track Happy Child, and then Paddy Gutfeld, who was the rhythm guitarist and singer, and who came to the band and started taking over and became the creative drive. he rewrote the song a bit, made it his own, and Torben Bille, of course, he didn't take that well, and that was like the beginning of the end for the group here. Torben Bille later on, because I had the CD too with the liner notes and the booklet, and he actually said that Paddy Goodfeldt's version, he can admit now that it's the superior version. He knows, you know, that his own version was maybe not that good. But yeah, enough about that. Let's listen to the B-side track, Going Home.
We are going, you know, we are going home. We are going, I said we are going.
And then we have the third single, and this one, it's on here. It looks like all four members are here, but actually Benny Dyr, the lead guitarist, he left the band. And for a long time I thought that he was still a member here because he's sitting right here, down here. But because of like disagreements, I think they were all pretty, tired of Paddy Goodfeldt. He just came and took over. But then again, he was the one who really had a vision and a drive to do things. So yeah, they were like a power trio again, with Paddy Goodfeldt taking over the lead guitar. A-side track, Come Tell the People, that's the one that is very good here, I think. It's a boogie rocker, like a hard-edged boogie rocker, with a section in the middle where it's this big distorted voice that sounds like it comes from a speaker, and yeah, it's very trippy. I really like it. So let's have a listen to that single.
Come tell the people you've nothing left to hide. We saw you in the light.
Inhabitant of the blue planet, we have come in peace. Do not take our survival as a sign of war. We want to speak to your leaders to introduce to you the people and agents of the separate reality.
And then we have the fourth single by Hair, and this is also the most rare and expensive one. It's also one of two singles that you can't listen to online as of now, but very soon you can. And the thing was, on this single, it's a completely new lineup. It's Paddy Goodfeldt, of course, from the classic lineup that released all the singles beforehand and also the album. So on here, I remember that I read that was the drummer from like this 60s Danish beat group called Yes Indeed. It's the drummer from that band that took over here and played. And also the bassist was Torkild Nielsen, and he became a member of Mo i Rana, like a Danish supergroup with members from Culpepper's Orchard and They Are Phoenix. and Torkild Nielsen was like kind of the unknown, member of that band. So for a long time I thought he didn't do anything else beforehand, but he was actually in Hair, and he plays on this single. And yeah, the first time I listened to this, I was very disappointed because my expectations, they were very high. I thought that it was gonna be like some crazy fuzz rock, because there was a guy on Discogs. When you go into the history of copies being sold of this one, I remember somebody tried to advertise it as being like fuzz rock, really fuzzy, heavy rock. And no, it really is not that extreme. The A-side track, Roll Me Over, it's like your typical commercial rocker. But I think it's nice, At first I didn't really think much of it, but if you took all the commercial vocal work away, you'll have a pretty good rocker, And also around this period, before releasing this single, they had a female vocalist in the band very shortly. She was English as far as I know, and I think her name was Claire Rayner, something like that. She was in the band very shortly, and that's always interesting to think, what were the band really heading in, and what was their plans? What were they going to change their style completely? But she was only there for a short while. I actually would have loved to hear a 45 single with her singing. That could have been cool too. The B-side track here, that's the killer track. I always liked that one. And it's like a very heavy bluesy track with some loud, heavy drums. I really like it. And yeah, they were a power trio at that time too in the band. So Paddy Goodfeldt, he sings and he played the guitar too. Not that he was the best guitarist in the world. I thought for some time that it was the first single where he played the lead guitar, but he did it on the previous one. So yeah, the guitar work on here, it's not that impressive, but the whole groove of that B-side track, Oh No, Oh Yeah, that really does it for me, man. So this single probably is maybe my favorite by Hair of the 45 singles, along with the album single from 1970. But yeah, let's have a listen to Oh No, Oh Yeah.
Nobody cares. Oh yeah, waiting for the blue buggy coming down the road.
And then we have the other single that you can listen to online. It's not on YouTube or anywhere else. And this single, it has two sleeves. So one of the sleeves, the band was still called Hair, and I think that was only released in Norway. And then we have the other sleeve, and I think that's from Holland, and it's this one here. So they were called Boom. I don't know if it was officially they called themselves Boom or they just called themselves Boom in like Holland. I have no idea, but yeah, they made this single and it's actually kind of cool. You Make Me Feel, that's the commercial A-side track. Some nice guitar work. And also the members on here, they were like, it was Ronald Andersen, who was in Zig Zag band. He already became a member here, and also along with the bassist Stefan Petersen. So it was pretty much Zig Zag band at this point. And the B-side track, Fox on the Run, that's not a cover by Sweet, you know. It's their own track, as far as I know. Both tracks on the single, they are credited to an Alabama. I don't know. I tried to research and see if I could find someone named Alabama that would write a song like You Make Me Feel or Fox on the Run. I couldn't find anything though. But Fox on the Run, that's the cool track here. It's a rocker and there is a bit of Ronan Andersen's guitar work in the end of it. So let's have a listen to it.
Take a ride,
Fox on the run,
don't go by.
fox on the run,
I'll be around,
fox on the run,
don't make a sound.
fox on the run.
And then Hair or Boom, they changed their name and they became Zig Zag Band. So Zig Zag Band is like a Danish glam rock band. Denmark had some glam rock bands in the 70s, some cool ones. You will probably know Walkers, but we also had Mabel with Mike Tramp and Children, such bands, and some more obscure ones. So Zig Zag Band, I guess they are they're more obscure than like the other names, probably Children. I don't know, maybe they're more obscure. I don't know about that. I don't know people from outside Denmark which ones they know the best. But this is a cool single, so let's listen to the A-side track, Rock and Roll Tonight.
Call on the Rockets, the show is out of sight. Rock and roll tonight. Everybody feel alright. Feel alright. Alright, alright. We gonna rock and roll tonight. Tonight. Feel alright. Alright. Tonight. Feel alright. Tonight.
And then we have the second single by Zig Zag Band from 1975. And on here they had their own track, Boo Boo, which is also very cool, like ballsy rocker. But what's really interesting here, especially if you collect music by that artist, it was that Zig Zag Band, they went in the studio with Screaming Lord Sutch, and they did a cover of Shake Your Money Maker. And man, that's so cool. I don't know how many people knows about this, because I think there are collectors of Screaming Lord Sutch. Probably they saw on Discogs, man, that he did the single with Zig Zag Band and they already have it. But man, that's really something special. And if you don't know about Screaming Lord Sutch, he was one of the first, he was a pioneer of doing shock rock. I think he started out in the very early 60s and he was dressed up like Jack the Ripper, and yeah man, that's crazy. And if you see pictures of the guy, he was probably the guy with the longest hair at the time. He was way ahead of his time with his look, so that's cool. He's on there. And because there's Boo Boo by Zig Zag Band and then there's Shake Your Money Maker with Screaming Lord Sutch, I think we should listen to both tracks. So here we go.
She knows judo, voodoo, anything but juju. She's a teaser, even if you blink, she's a boo-boo. She's a boo-boo. She's a boo-boo. She makes you laugh at you. She takes you way up high, and then she even makes you cry. She's a boo-boo. She's a boo-boo. Boo-boo-boo. She's a boo-boo. She's a boo-boo. Boo-boo. Come on, buddy. All right. Shake your money maker. 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 Money, babe. I got a girl who lives up on the hill. I got a girl who lives up on the hill. She said she won't love me, but I believe she will.
And then we have a solo 45 by Paddy Felt. He chose to shorten his last name and he ditched the Gut and just was named Felt. And I think for good reason, because this was a solo single and there is a background story to it that you can read yourself whenever I upload this single for you to hear. But let me just tell you a little bit about it. So, this was an attempt for Paddy Goodfeldt to get his solo career. And there was 2 tracks on here. Sail Away, that's the important track on this single because that was a track that was chosen to be part of the American Song Festival in 1976. And it was a contest where the composers from all over the world that could come and they could actually, if they won, they would get $30,000. And also they would get a breakthrough in American showbiz. But it didn't work out for Paddy Goodfeldt because otherwise, man, he would have become big, probably. But the thing was, Sail Away is this ballad, so it was not really representing Zig Zag band. It was representing Paddy Goodfeldt as a solo artist, and of course, it was Zig Zag band backing him at the time. And the song can be heard on the solo album by Paddy Goodfeldt, which I will be talking about in my next video. So the B-side track here, it's a cover of Spencer Davis Group, and it's a Give Me Some Lovin', and I think it's not the best attempt, you know. And also they wrote a little bit about that track and they said it's a laid back version, and yeah, they're right about that. It's not really having, when I think of Zig Zag band, I want something a little bit more hard-edged, and this one isn't. So I think whenever you find a single for cheap, yeah, you can buy it, and it's interesting, and you can, you know, if you're a completist, you can get it, but it's nothing really that special on here. But I really like the album that came afterwards, but we will get to that. But let's have a listen to Give Me Some Lovin'.
My
liked what you heard. And take a look at my channel in the next coming days, because I'm gonna be uploading all the 45 singles by Hair and by Zig Zag band. So listen to them, and then look forward to, in my next videos, I'm gonna be talking about the solo album by Paddy Goodfeld, which is, he just called himself Paddy at the time. And then also, finally, the full-length album by Zig Zag band from 1978. So look forward to that, that's gonna be awesome. So see you next time, and peace out.